Hi, I'm with the. Sorry, long night. So
Get it together.
I'm with the cast of the American Society of Magical Negroes, and I'll be interviewing them right now. Um, first question: how did the script or story resonate with you personally, for each and every one of you?
Do you want me to take this or just?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, you can just pass.
So this is the tiniest mic I've ever seen. No, it was my exact racial experience. Kobe and I have very similar upbringing, and I'd yet to read a script that like highlighted my specific experience, and I'd always wanted to do a movie about my experience, and so it was just the perfect alignment of all things. So yeah, and I learned a lot about how much space I make. Um, for white people, and I after shooting the film, I was like, I'm I'm gonna be more myself and take up space.
And yeah, for me, I wrote it, uh, I started writing it to sort of play around with the magical Negro trope, which I find troubling and funny, but it ended up sort of stumbling on this deeper exploration of this very particular defense mechanism I had been taught about how to make white people comfortable to stay safe in America, and thought, wow, that's so striking and telling that that's a part of my experience, and I just never heard that talked about really frankly. So I wanted to make a space that was sort of joyful and fun and possible to talk about that really sort of challenging and for me at least sort of embarrassing subject. Yeah. Yeah.
For me, anytime I can read a script or become a part of a project in which I don't feel like an inordinate amount of my time is going to be trying to translate, massage, reshape the racial message of the piece, is a good day. And so, had this script come to me and say it was written, this exact same script by a young white filmmaker, I'm being so honest, I would have a different attitude, especially a first time filmmaker, young, inexperienced, because, a lot of the stuff we're talking about, I'm just tired. I'm weary. My entire life has been the same question. Yeah, things have gotten a lot better, but we're still stuck on it. And so I just want some freedom. I want to play and I want to concentrate on this character. And this conversation, this is only the beginning of it. I mean, in doing this, it brought up so many memories, which I've begun to talk about that I just forgot about. I had this uncle, a grand uncle, who married this white woman in the 40s. So when my family would talk about, his name was Uncle Benny. And they told me that his white wife would go, I love Benny so much. If only he were a white man. Well, all the black folk, we would all laugh about it. But there's so much irony and pain in that. The way that people of mixed race or black people who appear to be Caucasian are held with suspicion from the black community. So that in my generation, I went to school and I grew up with black people who had hazel eyes, blonde hair, and as white as any white person here. And growing up in Detroit, they were blacker than all of y'all because you had to choose a team. You had to choose a team. There are other members of my family who they said, well, so and so, oh, wasn't he passing? Yeah, he was. But there was no animosity. There was no contempt because it was the message to me was, well, they did what they had to do. We don't hate them for that. That kind of thing. So it's very nuanced. And one last thing, I read a statistic several years ago that over 30% of the quote Caucasians in this country are biracial. So we're all mixed up. We're all mixed up. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about that.
Sure. My next question: what challenges did you face during the filming process?
I know a big discussion was, Aaron has such a specific relationship to white people, um, a discomfort, a fear. But I was really curious about what his relationship with his own community was. Like, were they the safe space? Like, if he grew up around white people, how used to being around black people was he? And that was a lot of conversations on set. And me and you played that bar scene a bunch of different ways because I was like, is it like, oh, you're my we can actually talk about, I can have relief, we can actually talk about it, or is it like I'm wary of this person, like I don't know this person, I don't know how to be vulnerable with this person. So that was a it's not the overt message of the film, but it was something that I was like, I need to get clear about that so I know how to play what Aaron is like in the society and what Aaron is like in the corporate world.
Yeah, there's just a lot of calibrating always with a piece, and with this one, it's a lot of it is balancing the play and the fun, with some of the more serious messages, because you want to use humor to talk about some of these difficult things, but also not be so playful or so unserious that the actual more meaningful messages get sort of lost or undermined in that process. So it's just this balance of trying to find how much fun we can have while still sort of honoring the integrity of the thing.
I think, like, I'm a recruiter. I'm a member of this society, but I could have played it much broader. But I just tried to go to the realness of this man, because he reminded me of a lot of the previous generation in my family, how they explained what they had to do to get through. And also, we've all been, as young people, when your grandfather, your father, explains to you how to carry yourself in a world as a young black man. This is revolutionary. But, to young minds, you're like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I want a different world. I'm not going to do what you do. And so there's that dichotomy. I think Roger thinks we are the answer, that we are saving lives. It's the one question I never hear in the script was, well, if you're doing all that, why is there all of this still existing? I ask myself that question. And I'm sure he would have said, imagine if we weren't here. So that gentle authority, it's not a caricature. I'm offering you a way, and we are saving lives. It's no different. You want to be a policeman? Well, I don't. I respect some of the police, the honest ones, but I don't want to be one. That kind of thing.
I mean, it's just they're
We
just.
should go back and shoot that scene. 'Cause that's a really
Yeah.
great line. That's a really
Let's
great
do that.
line.
You want to add that? Let's we can get. If somebody can focus here, can we go back? Yeah.
Don't do it.
Let's open it up. But no, there's such great artists, man, and this is the they just both had such a clear sense of the tone and and the respect for the piece and a playfulness, but also the integrity that David's talking about. It's they're fun. They're fun. I like them.
Where's this going? Also,
Yeah, like
got it.
YouTube, TikTok.
Got it. I just didn't know if it
Instagram.
was like, are we doing soundbite little sentences or are we doing?
Oh yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
Some,
Sir, you don't have to answer that.
Yeah.
This is every day on set.
I'll figure it out.
I overthink. Sorry, go ahead, go
No,
ahead.
I overthink too.
Go ahead.
What was that? Okay, yeah.
Oh, I wasted your last.
No, don't even worry about it. Like, those questions were great. I mean,
Okay.
answers were great.
Okay,
That was
great.
good. Yeah. So, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thanks, I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Good seeing you, man.
Thanks so much. Appreciate you. See you around. Yeah.
Where are you going?
What's that?